Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. What has the Descendants franchise meant to me for all of my lifetime? I think love. If there was one word to describe the Descendants franchise as a whole, it would have to be love for me. Because when I felt like I had nobody in this life and nobody could ever make sense of why I fell into this niche, each and every one of you were there for me. You were incredibly supportive even when you didn't think you were supportive, and you never ever quit on me. I can remember a time when this YouTube channel had 6 subscribers. That's all I had. And I went from 6 subscribers to eventually 50 subscribers to 100 subscribers, all because of a couple of videos I was throwing up over a decade ago. I started talking about Descendants over a decade ago. That was 10 years ago to this day. And ever since then, you guys have made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies on this beautiful evening. Thank you so much for all the love and support you have given me on this YouTube channel. Regardless of the topic that pertains to Descendants, whatever was on my mind, you guys just never ever quit on this YouTube channel. I was in love with Ruby Rose Turner, and that's what really brought me to this dance. This is what really brought me to the prom. If there was one girl that I could have went to my high school prom with when I was just 18 years old, it probably would have been Ruby Rose Turner. If I was in possession of a pocket watch, that's probably who I would have taken to the prom with me on the night that I had no date. Ruby Rose Turner was just this beautifully kind girl, and she was the exemplification of kindness, and she inspired me to become a better person. I say this every night on my podcast, and I thank Ruby for inspiring me to be a better person, to touch all of your lives in a very unique way that separates these videos from every other video pertaining to Descendants that you will find on this platform, uploaded every 5 minutes. Let's face reality and what we're up against. We're up against 15 million critics, and we're up against a video for Descendants or Zombies being uploaded every 5 minutes on this platform, and that really upsets me because you guys deserve to hear nothing but the best when it comes to constructive criticism and people critiquing Descendants, which is what you're not finding when you're searching up Descendants and Zombies videos on your phone and your tablet every single night, and that's simply what I wanted to give to you. You're going to have to forgive me. I'm a real sweetheart, and all I've ever wanted is for each and every one of you to find videos that you will fall in love with, that you will hit the subscribe button because of, and you will keep coming back to this YouTube channel for. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for always believing in me and never ever quitting on me when you very easily could have been on anybody else's YouTube channel absorbing their Descendants or Zombies content. I moved into this house, and I wanted to live in a house that was literally 5 minutes away from a soda plantation or a chemical plant, either or. And the weird thing was I found a house that was actually simultaneously side by side a chemical plant and a soda plantation that could explode at any given moment. I fell in love with Kylie Cantrell's personality shortly after I moved into this house for her portrayal of the Red character, because she was such a badass and she didn't care what anybody thought of her. She was such a strong representation of what the Queen of Hearts daughter should have been like, or what probably many people thought she would have been like, and a very different perception from probably what a lot of people thought she might have been like. I had a lot of respect for Kylie Cantrell donning that role and really bringing her to life in a way that I don't think anyone else could have ever had the opportunity to do it. I would have loved to have been Kylie Cantrell's love interest in this franchise, just because of just how fearless she was. She wasn't afraid of what anybody thought of her. She didn't care what anybody thought of her, and she just wanted to be this strong representation of what she believed the Queen of Hearts daughter should have been represented for having been. And then Ruby Rose Turner is in this franchise, and she is just so kind, and she represented the young Queen of Hearts and explained why the Queen of Hearts became a villain the way that she did. Rita Ora did a fabulous job as the adult Queen of Hearts. Well, when you talk about a representation of a character being brought to life and exemplifying great character chemistry, it would have had to have been Ruby Rose Turner. I remember watching Ruby when Ruby was just 12 years old, and I remember watching Kylie at a very young age, and you almost instantly knew that these stars were going to be something special, and they were going to inspire us. And that's what really got me about Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner every single time. And to make this even more spectacular, they were friends off of the sets of the TV shows they were in starring roles of, and Descendants, which made it that much more spectacular for fans when they got the opportunity to see them work together as a part of the Descendants franchise. I would have loved the opportunity to have been the director of the Descendants franchise and shot a lot of scenes in the nighttime, because where I live is on an island, and it is a beautiful location. The landscape is absolutely breathtaking, and I would love to have the opportunity to be able to shoot scenes for Descendants in the nighttime under the light of the moon, because we all share in the same moon, And whatever you're going through tonight, I want you to know that everything is going to be okay, regardless of the circumstances you were having been forced to deal with or you had no chance to make any sense of. I want you to know that everything is going to be okay. And that's why I had a lot of respect for the cast of Zombies, who actually shot a lot of scenes in the nighttime, either in Toronto or New Zealand. They would start shooting scenes at probably 7 p.m. at night, not get off till 5 a.m. the next morning, and the closest resemblance of that that I can give you is when I was involved with the professional wrestling industry, being in a different city every night, or being a DJ and being in a different city every night and not knowing where I was. Some nights you wouldn't finish your work until like 3 a.m. in the morning. You'd come home literally blitzed out of your mind, and if you weren't eating a Big Mac or a Whopper from Burger King or McDonald's, you were really messed up. One of the things that jumped out at me about the Descendants franchise was always the music, and they've been teasing a song called Pretty Princess for the Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland soundtrack. For those of you who haven't heard it, I believe there is a sneak peek of this one actually on YouTube, not to mention the other sneak peeks that the Descendants Facebook fan page has been throwing up. I tweeted it out the other night, and I shared it on my Facebook page. I can't play it for you because of copyright terms, and I don't want to get a copyright strike, but there is a beautiful song that has been making the rounds on social media. If you have not seen it, I would highly recommend that you head over to the Descendants Facebook fan page or their X account and check it out, because it's actually gorgeous. I have never been one to play a guitar. I have never been one to be a part of an indie band, or I've never been really fond of indie rockers, mainly because I've lost a lot of relationships because of girls choosing indie rockers and their bands over me. I don't know what it is about the whole indie rockin' thing. I was never into that, and there were many times that I was involved with Battle of the Bands, but I was the choreographer of the Battle of the Bands. And in all honesty, I hope they're not evacuating the city because of the zombie apocalypse. That happens every single night here. And you're going to have to forgive me, because sometimes you might hear a bang in the background, and there's no explanation for this banging. I've always thought this house was haunted, so you're going to have to forgive me. Ever since I moved into this house, I can't sleep at night because there's always these noises, and there go the cops to make matters worse. So, yeah, something is going on. There's probably a zombie apocalypse happening as we speak, but I haven't got anything prepared for that. But according to some research that I've been doing on the internet, all I've got to do is have medical supplies, food, water, all the essentials, all your basic essentials, and I should be fine. This is something I'm going to have to get used to, because every night from here on out, I'm going to have to address the nation on my YouTube channel after 8 p.m., because I'm running for President of the United States in 2028, if you haven't heard. Why am I running for President of the United States in 2028? Because Kylie Control deserves to have a president she can finally be proud of. I have been watching a lot of Kylie Control's TikTok videos, been paying very close attention to that, and I've seen Kylie Control reduced to tears. And to be honest with each and every one of you, it breaks my heart that Kylie has been reduced to tears. She doesn't deserve to be reduced to tears because of her political point of view and not being a Donald Trump supporter. I have never been a Donald Trump supporter, but for those of you who have followed my podcast for the better part of, I don't know, 2 decades, 20 years, there was a conversation on a lot of forums back in 2005, which actually, ironically enough, was the year Kylie Control was born, and the conversation revolved around what would ever happen if Jonathan Clarke ran for President of the United States. There is definitely a zombie apocalypse happening outside my window. I haven't got my windows or doors boarded up. I've got, food inside my fridge next to me here. I've got a fridge here. Let's see how this goes. I haven't heard any sirens or any warnings yet from the cop cars, so oh my. But yeah, there's always been this conversation of what would ever happen if Jonathan Clarke ran for President of the United States. Would he be able to stop a zombie apocalypse or outrun the current president? And I want to do it. I seriously want to do it. After 20 years of being speculated on and rumors circulating if I was going to run for President of the United States, I want to do that. Money is no issue with me. And I will launch my own campaign to make Kylie Control happy. I remember a tale she told on TikTok in February of 2024. That was last year. And she said that her friend had dated a guy who had a mattress on his floor and one poster in his bedroom. And I said to myself, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me, right? You got to be joking me. And I felt really ashamed. I felt really embarrassed because here I was making YouTube videos and I had nothing in this room. I had just moved into this house, and I saw the video literally a month after I moved into this house because I specifically asked for a house that was near a chemical plant and a soda plantation that could explode, not because I wanted to die or anything. I just wanted to experience what it would have been like to have lived in a town that would have been overtaken by a zombie apocalypse. Because I watched the whole Walking Dead thing and back from the dead kind of thing, and how to shoot a zombie in the head because he gets up every time no matter where else you shoot him on the body. And all kinds of stuff, and I just wanted to experience it. So what I did after I found out that Kylie was in a relationship with a guy, or a friend was in a relationship with a guy, however it went, where they had nothing in their bedroom, I went out and I decorated this whole room. This room had literally nothing in it because I literally had moved into this house for a month. I had the whole exorcist thing come in, and we made sure the house wasn't haunted and all kinds of stuff. So I took the liberty of putting reciprocal lights up in the room. I filled the room up with stuffies, and I really hope that you like this house. I really do. To be honest with you, I'm really happy that you're here, because you could have trusted Ichabod Crane on your way through the forest tonight, and you could have found videos that were pretty much just AI promising you false hopes for Descendants. That's usually what happens. These YouTube channels fill their YouTube channels up with bots, which are 25,000 fake subscribers, and it affects the algorithm. The algorithm pushes the video further out there, that much further out there, and then you hit the subscribe button, so the monetization portal will open up. They will qualify for the YouTube Partnership Program. God, I must be getting infected by a zombie. Oh, I knew that cut on my hand the other night wasn't good, but it must have been a zombie infection. I gotta get that checked out again. Gotta go back for more tests. But in all honesty, these YouTube channels that you will find about Descendants and Zombies are pretty much just fake bots, 25,000 bots that fill up the algorithm. Oh my God, I'm dying. Fill up their channel with bots, and what will happen is they will qualify for the YouTube Partnership Program if they haven't already, and one thing will lead to another. So I'm very thankful that you are here. And that is a true story. I went to my high school prom. I had no date, and I've seen these graphics that fans are putting up of Bridget, and it says prom queen on it, and I think Ruby would have been a beautiful prom queen at my graduation. It wasn't that I didn't try to get a date for the prom, but I literally asked every girl out that I had a crush on. They said no, and I just went to my high school prom with nobody. And that night, I think I back body dropped some guy into the fountain, because you had these, those really cool little cute fountains at the back of the set. I think our theme was Under the Stars or something. And yeah, I ended up body dropping this guy into the fountain. It wasn't good. Yeah, I had a lot of really freaky high school experiences. I went to school with a lot of creepy guys too. I went to school with a guy, as far as I was concerned, he was a vampire, dude. Check this out. Inside of his coat, he had a Walkman, but he had no headset set up to the Walkman. And I would see him every day. He was literally, his locker was next to mine. And more times than enough, I really wanted to punch him in the face, because I thought he was a vampire, and I wanted to get him before he got me. And, one thing led to another, but I never actually did have a physical encounter with the guy or anything. And then I moved into another home after I graduated high school, and I moved out of it recently. But the previous home that I lived in, as far as I was concerned, I lived next door to a vampire, because I never did see the guy during the day, and the construction company would build this like $500,000 home in like a month. You can have a home built that's $500,000 now in a month, because of all the construction workers that are working with the companies now, private companies. So the construction company would hammer a nail like 24 hours. And I would never see the guys during the day, and I would always see them during the night. But the creepy thing was they'd always be fertilizing their lawn or planting flowers in the nighttime. They would even go grocery shopping in the nighttime. So I had no night shift. I didn't work any nights or anything, so I was home all night, and I was like, man, I better not invite these guys in over my doorstep, or they're going to do the whole suck your blood thing. So thankfully enough, I was well versed in the Dracula novel. I'm talking Bram Stoker novel. Hey Google, when was Bram Stoker's Dracula released? I think it was in the 1800s.
1897.
Yeah, there you
According to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, Dracula is an 1897 Gothic horror novel by Irish author Bram Stoker.
Yeah, So that was back in 1896, and I remember reading it in high school. I read it in the 12th grade, and I was involved with this theater production of it, and I had a whole lot of fun doing that. And then Hollywood started making movies like Van Helsing, so I watched that with my friend with the lights off one night. So I was ready to go if I ever got involved in a zombie apocalypse or a vampire invasion. And then zombies wanted to have the aliens incorporated with vampires and zombies and werewolves, and then I wanted to get abducted by aliens. And ever before zombies ever did that, I tried to get abducted by aliens, and I'm still trying to get abducted by aliens. And the way I act on these videos, you would imagine that I was abducted by aliens, but yeah. I thought I lived next door to a vampire for years, but I was well versed and that kind of thing. And the thing is now, you can never be too sure. You can never be too sure about your friends not being vampires and stuff like that, but I'm sure all of you are well versed in that. Now, the Zombies 4 Down to the Vampires looks really cool, by the way. I'm really excited about that. That's why I do all these videos in the nighttime, because I want to just feel it, kind of thing, right? Yeah, I've heard everything tonight. I've heard cops, I've heard ambulances, I've heard transport trucks, and now I'm hearing motorcycles. So this is not a group of vampire gangsters outside my window, is it? Excuse me for a moment. I should be okay. Oh my. The thing was, this house was such a beautiful house, and I wanted to move into it and then people were telling me it was haunted for forever. Cool thing about this island, though, is apparently it's the most haunted place in Canada. It has the most haunted density of any location in Canada. So virtually anything happens here. People go lost at sea all the time, ghost ships. People go missing in the forest because it's believed that the fairies take you. And the cool thing is there's a forest behind my house. So any night I want to get lost, all I got to do is go in there. But thankfully for me, I was in Boy Scouts when I was a kid. So I can find my way out of any situation. It's really, really cool. It's so fun. Guys, the message of Descendants and Zombies has always been to achieve your dreams, no matter what that dream is, and to stand up for what you believe in. I ultimately believe that girls are stronger now because of Descendants and Zombies. The fans, in general, of Descendants and Zombies are stronger because of it. And I say thank you to the writers and producers of Descendants and Zombies for what feels like forever, because of how much they have inspired so many people. You guys saved my life. This franchise saved my life. I lost both my parents at a really young age. I know wherever they are tonight, they are watching this podcast, and they are listening to every word I am saying, and they are very proud of not just me, but of each and every one of you for having found this podcast. Dad's up in heaven now saying, "Boy, why do you have a Dumbo on your bed?" And Mom is trying to calm him down because he is just outrageously furious over the fact that I have a Dumbo on my bed. And, yeah. So, I know that they are very supportive of this show, but I honestly don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. I honestly don't. I know I come on here and I say a lot of crazy stuff, like how I hunt vampires in the nighttime, how, I had my heart broken more times than enough. I tell you these stories because I want you to know who the host is of this show and what he's had to endure. I've been through everything in my life, and oftentimes girls could never make sense of why I chose this niche and why I'm so incredibly supportive of Descendants and Zombies. I am really incredibly supportive of Descendants and Zombies because I know, nobody can ever understand this, but I know that this franchise saved my life when I was lost. My heart was smashed so many times over the course of my lifetime that I can't even begin to put into words how I truly feel about that. I have been with girls, I have told them that I love them 100 times, and over the course of probably a year-long relationship, I would never hear the words "I love you" once. Never. Never once. I don't think there was ever a girl that I was ever with the exception of their daughter, who loved Descendants, who could understand or appreciate why I love Descendants so much, or ever understood why I did a podcast that was devoted to Descendants and Zombies. It was created to spread a message of kindness, which is obviously something they didn't know anything about, the first thing about. I think there is never enough kindness spread in this world. I think the words "I love you" are never said enough, and you're going to have to forgive me for that, because I know there is probably a girl watching this video tonight who has had her heart broken more times than she ever chooses to admit or has ever discussed with her friend. Probably her bestie or something like that. But I want you to know that if a guy can't see you for what you're really worth and can't appreciate you, then you should move on from that situation or circumstance that you are faced with. Girls are what helps make everything make sense in this lifetime. And if I have 1,000 girls subscribed to this YouTube channel, thank you so much, because in all honesty, I could just be some guy uploading videos that, wouldn't be getting any subscribers or any likes. And it really means something to me that I can review Descendants and Zombies in a way that is very different from anybody else. We are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Jaws this week, and I am very upset over the fact that the Zombies cast had the opportunity to do some underwater cave diving. And I wanted to always go down underwater and use a bazooka to shoot a shark. Ever since I saw Jaws back in 1989, or 1987, sorry. That's when The Revenge of Jaws came out, and I was 1 year old. I was eating a popsicle one day, and I watched Jaws. Yeah. I would love to go under the sea with Ruby Rose Turner. Check out the scenery underwater and shoot a shark in a submarine. Missile engage. But the Zombies cast got one over on me on that. I also wanted to kill a lot of vampires in the Zombies franchise. I've been killing vampires for years. I'm the first guy to kill a vampire in over 100 years. I must have killed 5 over the period of the last 100 years. And I've had a lot of injuries sustained because of it. And I don't do it as much now, but I do it whenever the opportunity arises. This is a beautiful, beautiful place. And I hope that the Descendants cast will come live with me. I'll have the opportunity to direct and write Descendants and create something special for each and every one of you. I will get to profess my ever-dying love for Ruby Rose Turner, whom I think deserves a whole lot better out of life. For years, she's been saying she's had a crush on Justin Bieber. I want to do something about that. I want Ruby to know that I'm incredibly supportive of her and everything that she wants to stand for in this life. I think she's incredibly courageous for everything that she believes in. And after everything I've seen Kylie Control go through, I want her to know that it ends now. I am running for President of the United States, and I'm going to do something about it. Even if Kylie Control thinks there can't be anything done about it, oh yes there is. There is something that can be done about it. Because years ago, I must be infected. Oh my God. Last night that vampire really got me. I got to go to the doctor tomorrow and get some more polysporin and stuff for this cut on my wrist. Oh God. Guys, if you have not hit the subscribe button before I die, hit the subscribe button. See, this just goes to show how much I love each and every one of you, man. How far I go to... There go the cops again. There is definitely a zombie apocalypse happening. But I don't see nothing out through the window. A lot of people ask me, how I make these really great Descendants of Zombies videos. The easy way for me to tell you that, the easiest way for me to offer you an explanation is simply this. Speak from your heart and create funny videos that everybody is going to love. No matter if you have to wear a black sweater every single night to make people believe that you are going to hunt a whole lot of vampires, which is actually true, because that's what I did for all my lifetime. Either that or pro wrestling. It was either pro wrestling, Vampire Slayer, or a career in journalism, and I chose the career in journalism because I wanted to create this awesome podcast for each and every one of you. And $5,000 later, I have a really cool YouTube channel. Meg Donnelly has always been posed the question, how did you get into podcasting when she would be interviewed by all these podcasters? I asked her a bunch of questions that didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Let me just say this. I would love for Meg Donnelly to call me. I apologize for the cops. There's definitely a zombie breakout happening somewhere. I don't live in Arkham City, so when I moved in here, this town was really a ghost town. I never see anybody on the street. Nobody. I think tonight was the first night that I heard someone outside the window, and he didn't look like a zombie. But yeah, I remember how Meg Donnelly would always ask these podcasters, how did you get into podcasting? And they would tell her a story about how they did it out of their parents' basement. That was precisely what I did, but I had constant struggle to produce these videos for each and every one of you. But the thing that kept me going and got me through everything that I had to endure in my life, from my parents passing away, to my sister's struggle with cancer, to every other YouTube creator out there on this platform that I've had to compete against ever since at least 2009. My first YouTube channel was premiered in 2009. That was literally 2 years after YouTube uploaded its very first video. Literally 2 years after YouTube uploaded its very first video. In 2005, Me and the Zoo was the first video uploaded to YouTube, and it was real shit. And the way you could create videos years ago, you were very limited to how you could create. Years ago, 20 years ago, flashback to then, pull the Vinius and Ferb, there were no 4K Logitech Brio cameras like I have now, which I wish I could have had when I was reviewing Hannah Montana when it was at the heights of its popularity, because Hannah Montana was the biggest and most successful show on Disney Channel, and was really one of the reasons behind High School Musical why we had what was called the Disney Channel Revolution. I only wish that I was in possession of a 4K camera years ago and could have created a YouTube channel with over 2,000 subscribers. When I created my YouTube channel, My dad said, boy, go out and get a real job. Boy, stop watching pro wrestling. Going to bring the hammer down. And I didn't think anyone was going to hear my voice. That was the thing about my videos. I didn't think anyone was going to hear my voice. I was a real geek. I think every night of my life when I was a teenager, I'd listen to the Backstreet Boys. A real loser listened to the Backstreet Boys back in 1996. I think it was May 6, 1996, the Backstreet Boys' first album premiered. And actually, I found it really cool because the Descendants cast was in a cafeteria where the Backstreet Boys were at the same time. They didn't interact with each other, but Howie D came in, Nick Carter was there, and it brought me back to 1996. Now, Kylie Cantrell wanted to go back in time, live through the 90s. That was a fun time. I remember purchasing the Backstreet Boys album. I was one of the first guys to buy it, and I listened to it every night. And every night of my life, I think, I can be caught listening to a Backstreet Boys song before I jump through the window and go kill a bunch of vampires, vampire horde, zombie horde, what have you. Yeah, but I want you all to know that I would not be here tonight if not for each and every one of you. It was really freaky what happened. One night, I started this YouTube channel. I had no specific direction I wanted to take it in, only that I knew that I wanted to spread a message of kindness. You know, I didn't want to be one of those podcasters that would get on here and say, you know, I love this about Descendants, I love that about Descendants, I hated this about zombies, I love this about zombies. This girl's really cool, that girl not so much. I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to create really funny videos for each and every one of you, and I like to believe that I did that. I love the color schemes of the outfits for Descendants. I love how young girls are so inspired by Descendants. They go Halloween every year as their favorite Descendants character because they see themselves through the eyes of their favorite Descendants character, regardless if it's Bridget, Kylie Cantrell, Mila Baker. It's so fun. I think that the chemistry that we see between Kylie Cantrell, and Mila Baker, absolutely outstanding. Some of the best friendships ever have come from Disney, regardless of the criticism that Disney has received for treating their stars the way that they do because they are under certain restrictions, the social media department and everything. I really support this. I really love this. I think this is going to be a franchise that is going to last for an eternity. I think that everybody has been incredibly supportive of this and has been incredibly supportive of me. If it were up to you guys, I would either be President of the United States or I would be directing Descendants 6. Let me just say this. If I was directing Descendants, Descendants would last for an eternity. It just wouldn't last for the next 15 years. It would last for an eternity because you guys have deserved to hear better for a very long time about Descendants and zombies. I have seen people create Descendants videos, criticize it for up to 45 minutes on their podcast, which they have no business doing because they don't know anything about Descendants. They don't know the first thing about Descendants. And they have shoved an entire hot dog, a chili dog, whatever it was, into their mouth while they're reviewing the movie. And I just wanted to give you something better. I know I'm really crazy, but I'm hoping that you guys will think I'm the sweetest guy ever for creating all these Descendants videos for each and every one of you, and you will hit that subscribe button. Because in all honesty, I have a lot of respect for people like Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner who spend hours in the gym lifting weights that are heavier than what they are and training in parkour. I did it years ago, and it was extremely difficult to do it. So I have a lot of respect for those girls. They are in the best shape of their life. They are stronger than ever, and they are inspiring young girls now to join the gym, to join the cheerleading squad, to become even professional wrestlers. Hell if I know. But they are inspiring each and every one of you to become stronger people. And that was the message of Descendants, that it was conveying a message of being stronger, a message of how anything was possible, how you would find the love of your life, which we're hoping we're going to see Red do by Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, along with the quarrels that we're going to see between her and her sibling, which I'm really excited about. And I'm really excited about the introduction of this character, Pink, because I love her color scheme. I love how the plot could unfold because of it. I'm really excited about it. Thank you guys so much for following the White Rabbit every single night in through the rabbit hole, which has been closed for years, and finding this YouTube channel. I don't know how you're finding it. It must have something to do with the YouTube recommendation system. I have noticed for every 100 views per every video that I upload on this YouTube channel, somebody is finding the video and it's being recommended because of it. Thank you so much for either sharing it, liking it, or subscribing to this YouTube channel, which I can't emphasize enough that it's really important that you do that because because when you do hit the subscribe button, because this YouTube channel is growing organically, I upload the video, I go to Booster Juice, I come home very disappointed. The guy running Booster Juice, the manager of it, his actual name isn't Booster. I love when you hit the subscribe button because I always check this YouTube channel for new subscribers, likes. So whatever way you want to contribute to this YouTube channel, you are more than welcome to do it, and you're more than welcome to stay here. I would prefer that you stay here locked on this YouTube channel, preferably over listening to somebody who is just wanting to achieve monetization and or qualify for the YouTube Partnership Program. So the monetization portal will open up, and they will achieve monetization 3 cents per review, anywhere from 3 to 5 cents per review, which is pretty much a nickel. I'm going to have to bolt because there's definitely a zombie invasion happening as we speak. But in all honesty, guys, thank you. They're getting closer. Thank you guys so much for being here with me every single night when I feel like I have nobody. I know I have each and every one of you to count on, and you've helped me through everything. More than you've ever realized. I just got out of a really bad situation with a girl who fell in love with a Bangladesh singer, and it got me back to my years of being involved with the independent music scene and the whole indie rockin' thing. And yeah, it's really heartbreaking when a girl chooses a guy who writes music that I don't even know the lyrics to because it's in a different language. She doesn't even know the music because it's in a different language, only for the Facebook translation button. But yeah, you guys have really helped me out of really difficult situations that I couldn't make sense of. Every single time that I couldn't make sense of it. Wherever you're looking at that moon tonight, know that when you hit that subscribe button, this YouTube channel, it means more and more to me every single day. So I tried to do at least one podcast per day for you guys. I don't know the times they will be uploaded, but I try to throw one podcast out to you every single day or night on this YouTube channel. It is an honor and a privilege, honestly, to sit behind this podcast microphone and critique Descendants and Zombies with a 6.4 rating to Zombie 6.2 rating, according to Rotten Tomatoes, which I can pretty much make sense of because Descendants ultimately was more popular for the story, the music, everything added up for Descendants. I loved when I would be in a relationship with a girl and their little daughter would love Descendants so much. I never had the opportunity to have a little girl of my own, but I could only wish that she would have fallen in love with the franchise, and one thing would have led to another. I loved the opportunity to do that. The girl would eventually leave me. The young daughter would be very upset over it because I used to love watching Descendants, and I used to do a lot of searching up about Descendants, and I researched it a lot once I found that everybody was so intrigued by it, and I found it so cool, and I honestly found it an honor to be able to critique it the way that I have and review it the way that I have. And I want to keep it going for each and every one of you, but I can't do it without you. So if you get a moment, please, by all means, hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching this video with me. What do you say we take a look at Kylie Cantrell's interviews, her interview skills, where she actually goes as far to refer to Red as a badass. I think you're going to like this video. I liked it, and I wanted to share it with you.
The potential to be this badass girl, but on top of it have a lot of heart and have, you know, a lot of depth to her as well. You know, she's tough, she can do parkour, she's like a badass.
Kylie Cantrell is such a huge inspiration, and I honestly can't live without Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner anymore. I'm so forever thankful that I fell into this niche, more than you guys will ever realize. And I'm really thankful that you and I have a huge understanding of Descendants and Zombies that we have cherished for forever, and it is a franchise that has brought us all together, and I am forever eternally grateful for your love and support of this YouTube channel. Thankfully, there is no noise coming from outside my home, and the cops have not announced that there is a zombie apocalypse and it is necessary to evacuate the street. So that means tomorrow night I will be back again with another podcast for you to prepare you for the inevitable, which of course is a zombie invasion. You can never be too sure, and you can never be too ready to kick the ass of zombies or vampires when need be. And thankfully enough, for the last 30 years, that's what I've been living out of doing, and I have lived very discreetly because of it. I just recently moved out of a town that was highly populated by vampires, and I pulled the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and yeah. So Buffy's not the only one that has one over on these vampires. Twilight will never get the better of me, even though they tried 2 years ago. But yeah, I've had a whole lot of fun creating this podcast for each and every one of you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to jump through my window and just, scan the area to make sure there are no vampires or zombies. And try to escape infection yet again tonight. I want Kylie Contrell to know that I love her dearly. I want Ruby Rose Turner to know the support is always here for her. And I want you guys to know whatever moon you're looking at tonight, everything is going to be okay. If you're someone who has yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, you're going to want to do that because we celebrate everything from the Descendants cast birthdays to momentous times in history, like the 10th anniversary of Descendants coming up on July 31st, 2025. I will make a special video to commemorate that for you. The death of Cameron Boyce, which happened on July 6th back in 2019. We'll commemorate the 6th year since his passing. We will do that. I've got a beautiful graphic made for that, and you guys are more than welcome to join me for everything happening in relation to Descendants and or zombies this summer on this YouTube channel. What an opportunity. What a niche. I would fall in love with this over and over again every time the opportunity would present itself to me. Thank you guys so much for being a part of my life and allowing me to have come into your life and had such a profound effect on it as the voice of Descendants zombies, zombies, zombies. What do you say we take this opportunity upon ourselves to go spread some kindness on a beautiful night like tonight? Bye, YouTube. We will do this again tomorrow night.